right, everybody, we are off to episode 4 of season 2 of the Sandman. This episode is there's a lot of identity discussion in this one, especially towards the end. But I think that mostly this is an episode about family and trying to reconcile relationships. It's a weird one. Spoiler alert, I don't do spoiler free, so if you haven't watched the episode yet, make sure to watch it first and then come back. So this starts off with Delirium showing up in Dream's world unannounced. And she goes off on this rambling discussion and essentially attempts to convince him to go look for their lost brother Destruction, who wandered off and told nobody to look for him for reasons as of yet unknown. Um, During the discussion, he's initially reluctant, but then he finds out that she has been to other siblings, including Desire, and that makes him curious. He then agrees, but really only agrees because he wants to go back to the mortal realm to find Nada and see if he can't track her down. But he doesn't tell Delirium this. So they show up. Um, he goes to this chauffeur agency run by someone he used to know who used to be a god, and they enlist Wanda, who is an employee of this old friend of Dreams. And Wanda is a transgender character who has a really unique story arc within this episode. Um, which we'll get to sort of in over the course of the next 2 episodes. We watched part of 5 before Chris and I were both like, it's time for bed. So I'm recording this and then I'm going to bed. We have to finish episode 5. Um, while they're doing this, though, the first person they go to track down ends up dead. Now, somewhere along in here, I think it was right before this, we do get this sequence of seeing Destruction off in um, like an island. He's living off in an island. He has a talking dog with him. He's painting, and the dog hears something, and he goes into this room, and it's like he calls it the family room, and it's got paintings of the symbols of the family all around the wall, and in the middle is like this whirlpool, and apparently the whirlpool is like this sort of an early alarm system. And I'm wondering exactly what it is, but I think it's an alarm system that lets him know when someone is looking for him, because right after this is when like they go off and they start looking for him, and then the first person they try to find, who is a friend of their brother, ends up dead, which makes you wonder whether or not he was the one who killed him. I don't know yet. I only suspect because he looks at this alarm system, Destruction does, and he said, and the dog asks, "What is this?" And he's like, "Something, it's something bad. Something bad is coming." And so it's like, did he kill the guy who was his ex-friend? I don't know. All I know is that when Morpheus, aka Dream, and Delirium go off to New York, um, the first person they try to find dies. They then go meet up with this lady called Ishtar, who's another old goddess that um, Dream used to know. It turns out she used to be a previous lover of Destruction, and she's no longer worshipped, so now she's just working as a dancer. And turns out that her and Dream have a little bit of a complicated backstory because he essentially provoked his brother to break up with her, and she's still a little pissed about that. And he's trying to convince her to tell him where his brother is, and she won't tell him anything. Um, but then he lets her know, well, chances are, you might be at risk because of this meeting. And she's like, you've condemned me to die. And she goes off and does this dance and says, if I'm going to die tonight, I'm going to dance like a goddess for the, and if I survive, I will be a goddess once again. And unfortunately, she does die in this like explosion of gas and flame that happens at the bar while she's dancing. So now um, Dream definitely knows that something's up. And this is when things get really weird because this is when, in the aftermath of the destruction of the bar, Desire shows up, livid that Dream has destroyed a place of worship for Desire. And This is where he reveals to Dream basically, Desire accuses Dream of actually lying to Delirium and not actually being there to help her find their brother, but he's actually searching for Nada. Um, Turns out that this is true. Dream admits it. Delirium gets pissed, leaves her, you know, leaves her, leaves the two of them, like closes off her realm and says, "Never talk to me again, never see me again," and goes off. And that's sort of where we're left at a bit of a cliffhanger here, waiting to see what happens next. And I'm mostly curious about who is killing the people that are tied to Destruction, because these are all old associates of Destruction that he was seeking out with his sister to try to find the location of his brother, while secretly looking for Nada, but he was still, helping his sister track down their brother. But who's killing them? Is it the brother himself? Is it Destruction himself? Or is when Destruction looked into that, early warning whirlpool, was he actually saying something's bad is coming because there's somebody tracking him and that's why he went into hiding? I don't know. Remains to be seen. But I'm intrigued. Can't wait for the next episode. But you'll have to wait for that as well because we haven't finished watching it yet. So stay tuned for the next one. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to never miss an update. And I'll catch everybody next time.